Okay, this is lab and homework part C. So here we go. I want to pick up where we left off from. Okay, so some forward slash. You need to put your name on here. Your name goes here. Okay, so if my name is Dan, I put Dan Dow. Now, I want to talk to you about what these comments are. Okay, so make sure you put forward slash forward slash. You will ignore your code after this line. Your compiler will ignore it. Second line I need for you to put in all your source code is what? CUSC 1436/1415 what is this section? I forgot what the section is about. 83401. Okay, so 83401, and I need for you to tell me what this. Just put lab 1. Okay, and this is how to set up Microsoft Visual Studio C++. Cool. Your first line I'd like for you to know is the pound include. This is a preprocessor file. Okay, it is an I/O stream, meaning input output. I/O stands for input output with it. Your second line is using namespace. Okay, std. Cool. So you get 2 lines that I want to talk to you about as we move through this thing. Alright, so you have to bear with me at this time with it, but you have to know these 2 lines, and basically what I'm going to refer as the skeleton. So the next one I'm going to call is the int main, and return, and it has to be indented the way how I have it with semicolon. So this is your basic skeleton right here. Alright, that I'm talking about. Let me talk about what this is. This is what's called your preprocessor. Preprocessor means what? It loads in this input output, meaning anything that you, from the keyboard, mouse, all that stuff, it reads it into it. That's your input. Output's what? Displaying it to the screen, printing it to a file, all that, a set of instructions with it. Stream means what? You're actually putting in a set of data that's feeding this. It's like a fish line with it. The next one is you're using namespace std. As you read through your book, your first couple of chapters is going to talk to you about this thing. So using namespace std allows you to do formatting of different formats of your cout, cin, your namespaces, your nl, nline you're going to see here in a second here with it. And your int main, int is a data type. It is a value returning data type. It's going to return either a 1 or 0. In this case, you're going to return is a 0, which is a false. Main is the main function. This is where the main function goes to. So the first one you're going to do is the cout, something like this. Hello world in a string, has to be in a quote. You can say this is my first, or in this case my second program, or first program. Okay, and it has to be between a quote, and it has to have what's called extractor, less than, it's an extractor, NL, semicolon. Okay, NL. So if you did this, if you notice up here in the upper corner of this main tab, main.cp, there's an asterisk. You see where my cursor is pointing at? There's an asterisk. It means that this file has been updated. It needs to be saved. Control S saves it for me. Control F5, if you hold down those 2 buttons at the same time, we will compile it, and it's going to actually build, meaning it's equivalent what the word compiling is. You click on yes with it at the bottom. Okay, so you notice that this thing is compiling. This is a really short program, so it's going to compile really quick here. Give it a second here. Okay, that's not okay. So here's what this looks like. All right. So hello world. This is my first program. So here's what I would do. I want to minimize this thing. Take a screenshot of this thing right here. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this thing, go back to my program. I'm going to do, what step is this? 7. Okay, so I don't know. It doesn't have to be the same step I have with it. So sample script. So my sample script looks like this. Oh, sorry. Not like that. So my sample script will look like that. With that, and I'm going to just paste that on here. Okay, and then I would actually compile, number 8, I would compile by using Control plus an F5 button. Okay, hold that down. I would generate this. Okay, this is what I would do. So you take this right here, and I would actually take the screenshot of this thing, Control Alt that, and I would actually take the screenshot of that, paste that there. Cool? Well, actually this is kind of too large, so let me just resize this a little bit like that. Okay, so we can actually have a little bit more space. So Control Alt screen with that, I want to actually paste that right here. Okay, that's all I'm looking for at this time. All right. Given what I just shared with you, if you did exactly what I just did, let's go back to the document that I went over with you. Let me close out of this. Let's pull this thing up right here, just really quick. I have this. I also have this. All right. So I went over this. Yes. I showed you how to do the formatting, the bullet points with it. That's number one. I asked you to do a step-by-step a cookbook recipe, 1, 2, 3, 4. I asked you to do the Control Print Screen with it. Okay, so Control Alt Print Screen with it is the other key thing. Let me fix this really quick with it. There should be an Alt in here with it, and then I'll fix this. I'll post this, redo this again. Your tutorial should demonstrate files compiling where the executable is. Let me show you where this executable for this file is right here. So in here, this is where you actually did the sample program with it. And if you recall, where did I save this file? I saved this file under let me see. Hold on. Okay, let me go back here and point out something really quick for you. That document that we were looking at that talked about the lab and how we revise it, and I need to go over and you know, this is where number 4, to show you where the executable file is stored in. It's stored in the debug directory. So it's stored in, if you look under the debug, this is where I stored it, lab, one of my lab folders, my first program with it. If you look under my first program with today's date, there's a debug directory, and that debug directory I have inside of this thing is the executable. Okay, so my first program executable, this is what I'm talking about right here. So this entire, it's the executable, that's what we're trying to achieve with it. So this is the executable where you actually store. This is it right here, my first program. All right. Now you're not going to be able to hold this thing if it's compiled. You need to compile this through the Visual Studio with it as well. So I took care of that. That's number 4. Okay. If you did this, you need to be able to do this in a save this in a proper format with us. This is the docx. Save this thing. This is the file that you don't need to. Please don't send me the Hello World project with this thing. That is it. That is about as simple as much as I can I want to do with you on this thing. So this is how the lab instruction goes with this. This is due at midnight. Please get this thing done. I tell you, this link is going to go when you're ready for this. I'm going to post this link. I'm about to open up this link tomorrow. You're going to go to the Submit Lab and Homework here, and you click on it, and this link will actually have Lab 1 Submit here. I don't have this thing open for you, so you cannot see this, but it will be here. You're going to have all the labs submitted on here as well. Okay, so please go back. I'm going to open it up tomorrow for me. I'm going to have this thing open. All right, so here's what we're going to do. If you have any questions, I think I clarified a lot of things with you. All right.